Marketing That Works is the podcast for business owners who want to move their brand forward so that they can bring in more sales and clients. I'm Danielle Harris, and I'm bringing you what I know from more than 12 years of experience in traditional and online marketing. I have created marketing strategies for businesses of all sizes, from multi-million-dollar corporations to early-stage online businesses. Remember, some marketers chase fads. I believe in mastering the fundamentals. You don't need every single program or consultant that comes across your feed, at least not all at once or right away. Yes, of course you've heard of all of their client success stories and you're tempted by the fancy module names and community channels. But before you add another course login or program call to your week, listen to this episode because you don't need to be in 12 different programs to see results in your business. Today, I will break down the questions I ask myself when considering a new investment and how I know I'm making a good decision. I'm breaking this down because I wish someone taught me how to evaluate a program investment earlier in my business journey. While I don't regret anything I've purchased, I wouldn't have been mad at saving some extra cash. So, the first step actually happens way before I'm on a program sales page or checkout link. To make sure I'm headed in the right direction and clear on my gaps, I map out my vision for the next 6 months. This part is so important because it is the foundation of how I make all of my decisions about what I focus on and what types of investments I'm going to make. And what I do here is think about where I want to take my business in the next 6 months. And I like to do 6 months for a few reasons. 1, it isn't as overwhelming as longer plans. And 2, it keeps me rooted in the present. So many times I have people ask me, what's my 3-year plan? Or what will things look like a year from now? And for me, that amount of time feels too big. It feels like so much could happen. I don't know how things might end up 3 years from now, let alone what types of investments I'll really need. It just always feels like a lot. Thinking in 6-month chunks for planning investment feels like a great balance. It allows me to recognize what I need today and how it will help me get to where I want to be. To get into this 6-month visioning process, I'll start understanding where I am right now. Here are a few questions I like to ask. What's happening in my business right now? How many clients do I have? How do I feel about my current approach? Where do I want my business to be? What knowledge or support do I need to get me there? I often encourage my clients to do the same. So to demonstrate this, let's bring in our good friend Monica. For those of you who aren't familiar, Monica is our favorite money coach and example client. Check out episode 4 to hear all about our girl. So Monica is doing this exercise. She needs to first look at what her business is doing right now. She is currently working with 3 clients. One of them is the exact type of person she wants to work with. The other 2 are fine, but not a perfect fit for her. She's marketing her business, but wouldn't say she's as consistent as she wants to be. She'll show up for a few weeks, fall off, then get back to marketing. And Monica is making money in her business, but she wishes she were making more. So now that Monica knows where she's at, the next thing she'll do is see where she wants her business to be in 6 months. Monica would love to be working with 6 clients all at once. All of them dream clients. She would love to be more consistent in her marketing, posting 3 to 4 times a week so she can get those 6 clients. Now that Monica knows where her business is and where she wants it to be 6 months from now, she can take a look at what things she needs to make sure her vision comes to life. And 2 things come to mind right away for Monica. She wants to get help getting more clients that are a perfect fit, and she wants to work on being more consistent with her marketing. This exercise right here makes it perfectly clear what Monica's next investment needs to be. And it is coming from a place of what her business needs, not what program or service is popping up on her feed the most. So for you, I want you to take some time and take a good look at where your business is today. Pull up a piece of paper or your Google Doc and ask yourself what's working and what do you want to improve. Then, I want you to make a vision of where you want your business to be 6 months from now. And finally, make a list of the things you'll need to do or what you'll need to learn to get where you want to be 6 months from now. And that leads us to the second thing to consider when thinking of an investment. That is knowing the difference between haphazard purchases versus strategic purchases. Haphazard purchases are anything you buy because of insecurity, boredom, or simply being sold to. Strategic purchases are planned and intentionally sought after. It solves a particular problem and is purchased at an appropriate time. Here's what I mean. Had Monica not done her visioning exercise, she'd be more easily influenced by an ad for something that wasn't even on her radar. Or she'd be influenced by whatever she happens to feel insecure about at the moment. Instead, our good friend Monica took the time to do the visioning exercise. And because of that, the investment decisions she will make will come from this deliberate and well thought out place. So, let's talk about me for a second. Before I realized the power of doing this visioning exercise, I bought some programs and services that I had no business investing in. I remember I had my business for all of 4 months, and I hired a copywriter to help me with my website. And from the outside, that seemed like a really responsible and a reasonable thing to do. I thought I had to look the part of a trustworthy business owner. So I got a website to look polished and professional. But really, this was me comparing myself to what more established business owners had. But the thing was, if I had done the visioning exercise, I would have realized what I actually needed to do first wasn't building a website. What I really needed to focus on was getting my first client. I needed to work with a client to get clear on what type of people I help. I needed a client to get clear on the problems that I solve and why that's so important. I honestly didn't know enough about the type of people I wanted to help in my business to even have the information needed to create a website. If I had done the visioning exercise from the start, I would have realized that in 6 months, I wanted to be serving my first clients. And a website was not necessarily the first step I needed to take to get those first couple clients. And plus, like I said, I didn't even have enough good information to create a good website. I was investing haphazardly because I didn't have a clear 6-month vision and because I was in comparison mode. I let an insecurity I had about looking professional influence what my next investment would be. Now, if I were going to go back and give that version of myself some advice, here's what I'd say. First, know if you're making a strategic investment versus a random one. And second, I tell myself that investments rooted in trying to catch up or look like someone else more established will usually not work out because it doesn't fit in with what I want for the next 6 months. Now, an example of a strategic investment I've made is this podcast. This podcast has been on my mind for a while. Earlier last year, I decided it was part of my 6-month plan to provide resources and tools for a wider audience of people. I knew I wanted to have a lot of ownership over it, but I also knew I didn't know what I was doing. And DIYing this process was not my vibe. I wanted help to make sure that my ideas translated well. So when I found someone that did exactly that, I was ready. Shout out to Issa of Issa Media Inc. And because having this podcast wasn't an impulse, I was able to think strategically about what I wanted this to be and who could help me bring it to life. Because I had done visioning on how this podcast could work to support my business, I knew what I was looking for when it came to hiring help. Last but not least, I consider my budget. There are things that I know will be a stretch, and other things that I know I can easily pay for, and I'm super realistic about that. What makes me more confident in making an investment, even if it's a financial stretch, is knowing I will get a return on my investment. So let's take Monica, for instance. Earlier, we saw that what she needs help with right now is getting more clients that are a perfect fit. And she wants to work on being more consistent with her marketing. So the first thing Monica does is see what she can afford right now. She knows herself and that she does best when working with someone one-on-one versus in a course. So she considers that when looking at her budget. Monica also doesn't want to be on a payment plan while in a program. She finds she can focus better when the program is already paid for, no recurring payments. So she needs to know if she has all the money already or if she needs to save up for a bit. When Monica has all the money for a program, she goes into the program focused on what she needs to learn. Monica's goal, and yours, is to be fully present whenever you're in a program so you can get the results you want. And for you, I want to reinforce that being clear on why you're in a program, knowing that it's a strategic decision, and knowing that you don't have to worry about paying for it are the perfect conditions to make sure your next investment is successful. Going through this process will make sure that you're actually focusing on what your business needs to hit your next goal. It is easy to get distracted, join a program on a whim, and spend money you didn't intend. Following this process is how you make sure you're focused and are actually investing in programs that get you where you need to go. Now, if you mapped out your own 6-month plan and notice that you need marketing and messaging support, then the Blueprint experience is where you should invest next. In my one-on-one marketing and messaging program, The Blueprint, we work to make sure you're focused on your goal of attracting more dream clients and filling your program. Through the Blueprint process, you'll walk away with a unique brand story that builds trust and authority so you can start signing clients. During this 3-month program, you'll get weekly support with leveraging your story. You'll know exactly what you're going to say in all of your content, and you'll get feedback on how to attract more dream clients. Head to the show notes and book a call to get started working with me. On this call, we will talk for an hour about how you can start creating marketing content that speaks directly to the people you want to work with. Okay, y'all, I'll talk to you next time. If you want more marketing that works right in your inbox, head to the show notes and sign up for the email list. You'll be the first to know how you can work with me on mastering your marketing.